Hello, we're going to continue with our Unity 3D series, and today we're going to focus on lighting. So we have our game object here, the tank that we created using a couple cubes and cylinders right in Unity. And today we're going to add some lighting by going to Game Object, Create Other. And so we have four different options for lighting here. Directional light, that's really to simulate like the sun, right? So that's usually the first lighting I'll throw into a game. We have point lighting, which simulates something like a light bulb, and then spotlighting. Spotlight is like if you went to the theater or something and then you're shining a spotlight on the talent. This sort of lighting in this game behaves just like that. Then an area light, that's a Unity Pro feature, and we really only can use that during light map baking anyway, so it's more of an advanced feature, so we wouldn't need that anyways for this series. So let's before we add our light, let's go in and create a plane. So we go to Create Object, Create Other Plane. So right now our tank's sort of floating in the air, and the plane gives us something to kind of sit on. So we can see its kind of plane kind of fell in right above, right through the middle of our tank. So I'm going to just click the handle here and drag it down a little bit. And then it's pretty small in comparison of our tank. So if I click on the plane and I go to the scale, I could say, scale is 5, 5, 5. And you can see we have somewhere we can go now. So this also, creating a plane also kind of lets us understand the behavior of the light objects in Unity. So the first thing we'll do is go in and create one of the most common lighting types, the directional light. Again, this simulates the sun. And you can see that lit up just our whole plane and our game object, our tank. So by moving this, the handles up and down, it's not changing anything with any of the lighting behaviors. And that's because with a directional light, where it is does not matter at all. The only thing that matters is the rotation on the light. So if I click the rotation little like button up there and I rotate it, there you can see some changes in the lighting. So that's one of the kind of known facts of the directional light. And again, like any other game object, we go in the inspector, we can see that we can change different options in the lighting object. So we can change the intensity. We can just white everything right out. We can change the color type. So if we go and we select, hey, we want this light to be yellow, we can do that. So let's change the intensity up a little bit. So it's our yellow light. And you can't really use the halo effect with this guy. But alright, so let's delete that. Let's go check it out a different lighting object. Delete that. And you're going to say, whoa, everything's dark. Well, that's because Unity, once you first load Unity, they have a lighting, default lighting on for us, so we can actually see the objects we create. Once you throw in a game object, game lighting object, it says, oh, okay, you have a lighting object, so you don't need this default lighting anymore. So we can go ahead and turn that default lighting on just by clicking this button here. You can see it looks just like it did before we added those light objects. So let's turn that off and let's see what it really looks like once we add our point light. Again, the point light is just like if you were to insert like a light bulb into the scene. So it behaves just like a light bulb, and now you can see by moving around this game object, we can really see the difference there in our game, unlike the directional light bulb. Rotation is not going to do too much with our point light here. So we have options just like we did with the directional light. We can change the color, we can change the intensity, we can change the range. So if I change it to 5, you can see it dims a little bit. So if you just, you want to go from a 60 watt bulb to a 100 watt bulb, you can do that by changing the range or the intensity or whatever, which way floats your boat. So let's delete this guy. We have one more to show off. So let's go into delete. Let's go to game object, create other, and this one is a spotlight. So this is going to behave just like you think it would. You can see we have the spotlight. So let's say we wanted to create headlights in our tank or something. We could do that by rotating this guy out a little bit, and we'll move it down by clicking this handle. And you can't really see where our object is, so I'm going to go ahead and create our directional light again, since we're going to be using this anyways. Alright, I can see my game object, and I'm going to move this guy up yeah, this is my directional light. So I can just get this out of the way a little bit. And let's turn the intensity down to about just a little bit too bright. So I'll go to 0.4. That's a little better. And then our spotlight. Let's take our spotlight and let's see if we can get it just, oops, I'm dragging in the plane. Click on spotlight in the hierarchy here. And let's see if we can rotate this out just a little bit more. Bring this back. And let me see here. Let's see. Turn it around here. Oops. There we go. So let's see if that's lined up, right? It looks pretty lined up. And what I can do now, I can just right click on spotlight and then click duplicate. Now I have two of them, and there we have two little spotlights on our tank. Let's look at it from above, see how that looks. Yeah, it looks to be pretty well lined up. And I should have done this before I duplicate it, but I'm going to change the intensity down just a little. Well, yeah, just a little bit. So let's go to 0.5, and I'll have to do this in the other one as well. So you can see I have the problem with the spotlight actually coming through the top of the tank there. And so we might want to move it around right now. So what I can do is just get a different angle real quick and see if I can lower that just a bit. Before I do that, I'm going to make sure I have both these selected. Lower those a little bit. Bring them out. See if that fixes it. Let's go back up top again. There we go. So we just lowered them a little bit, and that fixed our problem. So if we wanted, we could change the range to 15, change the intensity. This angle's fine, but change the intensity to maybe 0.3. And yeah, I think I like that. So last but not least, is take these spotlight objects, drag them right into our tank. That way, when we click the parent tank here, we move that guy around, the spotlight will also move around. So, very good. Well, thank you for watching, and I look forward to our next tutorial.